What is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and today I'm coming at you with a DDD deck profile. Now, this DDD deck profile, basically I just took it to my most recent locals here in San Antonio, and I went X1 with it. It was really fun, great events, a lot of great people, and honestly, I've just been having a lot of fun playing this deck, playing it online, playing it in real person, playing it with my friends, things like that, and it's just really cool. Honestly, I think this is the most fun deck I've played in a while. I honestly, I love Bird Up. I loved playing all those type of decks I've played before, but this one, here's what I'll say about DDD, is that it can play around a lot of hand traps. I've been Drolled, Nibiru'd, Landseid, everything, and I've still been able to go ahead and just continue on with my plays and just keep on going, which I really think speaks to just the high versatility of this deck, which I think is absolutely incredible. It's something that's definitely underrated. I was surprised though that there was a lot more DDD representation than I originally thought. There was at least 4 or 5 DDD players there, so that was really cool to see this deck getting just a little bit more representation, things like that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this deck profile. So, if you guys seen Pack's DDD deck profile, I think this is a really good template for this. I know he plays 43 cards. This is going to be a little bit different from that. I really didn't want to play 43 cards just because, or anything more than 41. This is a 41 card deck. Simply because I just found myself bricking way too much, but I'll get more than that in just a second. But go ahead and start off with the monsters. To start off with the monsters, guys, I got triple DD Savant Kepler. So Savant Kepler is going to be probably the best starter you're going to have in your entire deck, even though your deck plays a lot of really good starters. So Savant Kepler, basically what it allows you to do, and there's normal special summons. So if you summon him back from the graveyard, or if you pendulum summon him out, whatever the reason might be, as long as he's normal special summon, you get to go ahead and add a Dark Contract from your deck to your hand. There's also another effect. You can add a target DD monster card you control, return it to the hand, but it's a lot less relevant. It can still come up, so don't forget about it. But the main effect is you're going to be able to go ahead and search your Dark Contract card. So you're most likely going to be searching out Dark Contract with the Gate to go ahead and continue on with your plays. Or if you already have that in your hand, go ahead and search out the Dark Contract with the Swamp King, or perhaps another Dark Contract card, which again I'll get to in just a little bit as well. Next, we play triple of your DD Savant Copernicus. This is the card that really just lets you play around Droll with the greatest of ease. So if you know your opponent's playing Droll and Lockbird by games 2 or 3, you'll pretty much already know you're going to be starting out with Savant Copernicus instead of the Kepler. So only reason I say that is because Copernicus, it'll send cards to the graveyard, so you can still get Ash, don't get me wrong, but if you activate Savant Kepler to add a Dark Contract with the Gate, but then get Drolled, you're pretty much done from there, unless you already had a DD Griffin in your hand, in which case you don't have more plays as far as that goes. So it really just depends, again, what you have in your hand, how safe you feel making your certain plays. Plus you can also start the save your Dark Contracts for additional plays down the line. But Savant Kepler is really good. It's basically when it's normal special summon, same as the Savant Kepler. It allows you to go ahead and basically pitch a DD or Dark Contract card from your deck to your graveyard, so that's really good. I mean, this card is absolutely nuts. Yeah, I mean, it has 0 attack, 0 defense, but it doesn't really ever come up unless you misplace somewhere in your combo or overextend yourself, and then you have a 0 attack monster in attack position on your board. That's the only real reason why this might be a negative impact for your game. Next, for arguably the card that pretty much made DD relevant again, which is DD Griffin. So the only reason I'm saying it made it relevant again, because this card has like 4 or 5 effects. It's absolutely just ridiculous. So it has its pendulum effect, which is really good as well. So basically, you can target a fiend monster you control, have gain 500 attack for each Dark Contract you control and in your graveyard, and then destroy this card, which is a really good way to go ahead and get this into your onto your extra deck, and then you can go ahead and pendulum summon them out in the event that you get Drolled as well. So it's just really good for that as well. Also really good to go ahead and beef up your monsters. But also if you control DD monster, you go ahead and special summon him out for free. If it's pendulum summon, you get to go ahead and pitch DD. Is it DD or Dark Contract? Yeah, DD or Dark Contract card and draw a card. So the cards you don't need in your hand, or you pitch a Lamia, pitch a Necro Slime, whatever you have in your hand, it just might be better off in the graveyard anyway. A Typhon. And then you get to go ahead and draw a card, which is really good. And then especially from the graveyard, you actually get to to add a DD card from your deck to your hand. So you're most likely going to be charging out the DD Headhunt, but there are other places you can go with that as well. Triple DD Swirl Slime. So Swirl Slime is a fantastic card. That's really essential to the combo. Lets you summon better on the floor before your 5th or on your 5th summon. That way you can't get any beer anymore. You just gotta make sure that you make it before you make the Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh will lock you into DD monsters. But yes, Swirl Slime is a fantastic card. I really want to get the supers right now. I just have the commons, but you know, it's fine. It's all good. So again, yeah, just let you fusion summon from your hand, and you can banish from the graveyard, special summon a DD monster from your hand free. Absolutely just insane card. So it's going to be it for the starters. Rest of the monsters, I played double Orthros and double Oblivion Abyss Ragnarok. So why do I play these two? So I don't play Savant Thomas. I've tested with it. It's never come up for me personally. I understand it's a really good card in the event that, again, you get Droll and Lockbird or whatever it might be. Or just helps you play around certain hand traps and sticky situations, but it's a bit too situational, and that situation just didn't come up with me. So I want to go ahead and choose a card that I would actually be able to play, and I would actually be able to have a lot more versatility with, and pretty much act as another additional extender, which Oblivion Abyss King Ragnarok does all those things as well. So basically, it lets me special summon. It basically has the same effect as all of the fusion monsters. When a DD monster special summon, you get to go ahead and special summon another one from the graveyard when it's Pendulum. So just really, really good. Also, if you have the Abyss Zero King Rage in your scale, you can go ahead and summon this guy out for free, which is really, really good. So yeah, I mean, I just really like it's just a really good card, to be honest. And then double Orthros. So you don't really play any back row removal in this deck. Orthros pretty much takes care of that. I haven't really had an issue as far as like wanting additional back row removal. So Orthros, I think, just does the job. Also is a fantastic extender and a tuner as well. So I really only synchro summon with Orthros. I still have yet to synchro summon using Lamia, but Lamia is still really good. Just being able to go ahead and just be able to summon out the Gilgamesh, or just get another DD monster on board for additional plays. So that's going to be it for those extenders. And then you play your 1 Cerberus and 1 DD Divine Zero King Rage. So these are going to be the primary scales that I usually go to with Gilgamesh. The reason why is because Zero King Rage is a scale 0, which is, I believe, is the only one in the deck that I'm playing anyway. And then it also has the effect that if I were to normal summon a level 5 or higher monster, I can do it without tributing, which is really, really good. And also, the first time I take damage, I don't, so that's really useful as well. But realistically, I do want to go ahead and summon this out as well. So I'm kind of torn. It really, again, just depends on the situation. I can put a Copernicus, I can put a Griffin as my low scale, so or an Orthros as well, still scale 3, and pretty much you're going to be pendulum summoning out level 4 monsters, so it doesn't really come up too much. But it is really nice to go ahead and have this in the scale as well. And then DD Cerberus, the main reason I say this is one of my main targets for Gilgamesh to put in my pendulum zones is because it has level modulation. So essentially, when you pendulum summon out your Kepler, that'll now be in the extra deck, you can go ahead and activate Cerberus to go ahead and make the level 4, which then helps you go ahead and go into your Xyz plays, and helps you again make your big board go off with your combos. I think that's it for the Pendulum monsters in this deck. Yes, it is. For remaining DD cards, we play 1 DD Vice Typhon, 1 Necro Slime, and 1 Lamia. So Vice Typhon is level 7, Lamia is level 1. These two do make sick free, so it's really nice to have that in mind as well. Very rarely am I actually going to have Vice Typhon on the field. I usually just go ahead and send to the graveyard to use this graveyard effect to go ahead and let me fusion summon. But again, this is a card I've been really debating on whether it's good or not. But surprisingly, it's been coming up really, really clutch for me as well. So I'm just gonna leave it in for now. For now, there's still a few things that I would think about changing in this deck. But honestly, this deck worked really, really well. And the one thing I really liked about it is that I pretty much never brick with this deck, which is absolutely just, it says a lot. It definitely says a lot. So Necro Slimes, you can fusion some from your graveyard. Same thing with the Typhon, and then Lamia, so you can go ahead and get additional extender. Next, we're going to go into the hand traps. So I played 9 hand traps for the tournament. Triple Ash, Triple Ogre, and then Triple Veiler. So I really thought I was going to see a little bit more adventure engine. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and play the Ghost Ogre. But honestly, I think a little bit more impactful card would be the DD Crow. So next tournament I go to, I'm going to keep the same lineup most likely, but I am going to take out the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit and put in a DD Crow. So my only loss was against Mech Knights, surprisingly. So that deck really shook me. I had no idea what the interactions were, but a lot of the other games that I was playing, Ghost Ogre just wasn't really effective, and I feel like coming cards like DD Crow and being able to mess with my opponent's graveyard would be a little bit more beneficial. So I'm going to be taking out the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, putting in DD Crows, or maybe take out another card, but regardless, DD Crow's going in my deck. But that's going to be it for the monsters, guys. Go ahead and go right into the spells. For the spells, we got triple Piri Raise map, absolutely phenomenal extender. I really don't care if my life points are halfened. In fact, I really like that because that means I can go ahead and activate this in turns 2, 3, 4, and I'm perfectly fine with it. For example, let's say I take, I don't have the most optimal opening hand, but I have some hand traps. I'm going to stop my opponent a little bit, and I only take like 6,000 points of damage. I can activate this pretty much for free for only 1,000 life points. Still get to search any monster with 0 attack in my deck, so it's really good. Would never cut this card under 3. It's a free searcher is what it is. Yeah, you can only activate it the first thing at the start of your main phase 1, but it is you're never gonna want to not see this in your opening hand. So it's really good cards. Go ahead and leave it at that. Next, you play Triple Dark Contract with the Gate, 1 with the Swamp King, 1 Patent License, and your 1 for 1. So Contract with the Gates, basically every single turn you're going to take 1,000 life points of damage during your standby phase, which there are ways to prevent that, of course. But every single turn, essentially, you can go ahead and search another DD monster from your deck to your hand, so it's absolutely insane. Swamp King, you can go ahead and it's another fusion card, essentially just fusion something from your field, or banishing from your graveyard as well, so you can really maximize your resources. And Patent License is it's a field spell, so it's not going to be not continuous, obviously. But Patent License is a card I've been, again, another one I'm on the fence about, similar with DD Typhon. So Patent License is really busted going first, because then I'll just go ahead and activate this, and pretty much if my opponent special summons any type of monster, whether it be Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link that I control, they take 1,000 life points, and they can't summon that again. So for any like Dragon Links, if I have a Gilgamesh on board, they're pretty much cooked as far as that's concerned. Any other Xyz deck that I can't really think of anything right now. But yeah, even if we're playing going up against a fusion spam deck, say I'm going against, I don't know, Fluffle, then after their first fusion summon, they're pretty much done from there. But I know Fluffle has other ways to go around it. I understand. So Patent License is one I'm on the fence about. I may just go ahead and cut this from the deck and make it a 40 card deck. But again, I just want to go ahead and get my thoughts out as far as like how feel everything perform, things like that. And the 1 for 1 just because it's absolutely broken. I mean, trading a hand trap to go ahead and summon Kepler out, additional extender is just a really good card, and it's pretty much mandatory in this deck. I would recommend any DD player play this because it's pretty much a free way to go ahead and again get Kepler out. You can get, I think, one of the slimes out. I think it's Necro Slime out. Which one is it? You can get a Lamia, which is really good. Necro Slime. Pretty much you get Necro Slime out to go ahead and go into Gilgamesh, and then Necro Slime's down in your graveyard, so then you go plus off that as well. But 1 for 1 is pretty much never dead. There's always a really good card you can go ahead and bring out with it, so that's going to be it for the spells. Now on to the traps. Now when I say traps plural, you did hear me correct. I played 2 traps in my deck. 1 DDD Headhunt, pretty much everyone knows what this does. It's pretty much Snatch Steal, it's really good. However, also make sure you can only summon this, activate this if you control a DDD monster, not DD. So if you have you're in your boat with a Copernicus and you have that, you're pretty much cooked. And then for the Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness, this is a card I've been seeing a lot of people put into their side decks, things like that, but honestly I think it's just way too good a card. This is arguably one of the greatest floodgates that I've ever read. So basically this card reads, while you control 2 DD cards in your Pendulum Zone, your opponent cannot target monsters on the field with spell trap effects, tribute them for a tribute summon, nor use them as materials for a fusion, synchro, or Xyz summon. Once per turn during the standby phase, take 1,000 life points. That sounds really good to me. So you're pretty much saying that Sword Soul can't play. You know, you're pretty much saying that Prank Kids can't fusion summon, at least not with monsters on the field. So there you go. It's a hindrance is what it is. So I think this card is really, really good. It's a great floodgate. You pretty much you're stopping your opponent from Xyz summoning, you know, all these favorite type of summoning, tribute summoning, so it hurts Philandries as well. So it's just a really, really good card. I think it definitely deserves to be main decked, and then games 2 or 3 you can go ahead and side it out depending if you're going first or second. But in the event you're going first, I see myself searching this card quite a bit. I mean, again, depending on the matchup, things like that. But I do see myself ending this in the DD Headhunt, as well as another Dark Contract for the Deus Machinex. It works out really, really well. I mean, realistically, if you have one in your opening hand, you search out the other one and you have more interruptions to play with. And that's going to be it for the main deck, guys. Let's go ahead and get right into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I play triple of your Abyss King Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is such a good card. I don't know where to begin with it. So basically, on summon, special summon, not even have to be a link summon. On special summon, this guy says, go ahead and activate 2 scales for free. Broken. Yeah, then you take 1,000 life points of damage and you're locked into DD, but that's irrelevant. You know, this card is really, really good. Just be able to go ahead, and also you can leave this on board, and if your opponent destroys it by battle or with card effects, things like that, you get a free special summon as well. So Gilgamesh, really, really good card. Definitely max out on this card. Honestly, there was a time where I was thinking maybe I should play this at 2. Very rarely there's someone at the 3rd one, but it does come up. Don't sleep on playing the triple Gilgamesh. Next for the fusions, I played double Genghis and the 1 High King Genghis, 2 little Genghis, 1 big Genghis. No, I don't play D-Arc. Why? Because there are better cards to play than D-Arc. Have I ever summoned D-Arc? No. Have I ever seen anyone summon D-Arc? No. So why am I playing this card that no one plays and no one summons? You know, there's a reason for it. You know, you're better off playing cards that you're actually going to go ahead and use to get to your ultimate goal. So this is going to be it for the fusion monsters. Pretty much they all have the same effect, where you can go ahead and if you summon a DD monster, especially summon another DD monster from your graveyard for free. And then this High King Genghis has a really cool effect. Basically, you can negate spells traps during your turn, so that's really nice as well. I really wish I would do it during your opponent's turn, but it's all good. For the Xyz monsters, we play 1 Wave King Caesar. It's a stepping stone. I've never used his actual effect. DD Marksman King Tell. Basically, when it's you can go ahead and detach a material, have another DD card or this card itself lose 1,000 attack to burn your opponent for 1,000 life points, so it does come up in time. And then also when it's sent to the graveyard, you can go ahead and Foolish a Dark Contract or DD card from your deck to the grave. 1 DDD Wave High King Caesar. So this is actually a really, really good card. Basically, anytime your opponent would activate a card that was special summon a monster, you can detach, destroy, and then you can have itself and another guy getting 1,800 attack. I just think this is busted. Next, we play double Deus Machinex. You're going to control 1, so there's really no need to play a 3rd one. It comes up rarely. It does come up rarely, but it's not something I'm going to really lose any sleep over if I don't have that 3rd one. Although I'm going to lose a little sleep. I'm slightly considering. And then you play your 1 AA Zeus, of course. And then the last Xyz that I do play is the 1 DDD Duo Quan, whatever, Kaliga. So this card, if you have not seen it, it is really, really good. Basically, this card, it takes 2 level 8 DD monsters. Another reason why I played the Abyss King Ragnarok in the deck. This card is Xyz summoned for the rest of the turn. Other cards and their effects cannot be activated on the field, and other card effects on the field are negated. not just your opponent, all cards on the field. So that's really just absolutely ridiculous. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach a material from this card, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. Then you can detach you can detach one material from this card, target one dark contract, spell trap in your graveyard, and set that target. So absolutely just busted. This card's really good, but I have thought this is the only flex spot I see in my extra deck. The only other card I would consider putting in here instead of this is not D-Arc. It was actually Dark, the Charmer, D-H-A-R-C. So that's a really good card as well. So I might be taking this out for that card just because as powerful this card is, I didn't really see myself summoning it. But Dark would have come up a few times here and there. So I may be taking that card out, but again, we'll see. Then for the synchros, we play your one DD Curse King Siegfried, and then the one Baron de Fleur. So Baron, the spell is self-explanatory. Cards are absolutely busted. Pretty much have to play it. If you do not have a Baron, it's okay. There are other DDD level 10 synchros you can play that are really good. You can also play Ruddy Rose, which is not a DD monster, of course, but it does banish. I believe that's the one that banishes all cards in the graveyard, so it does mess with your opponent quite a bit. So it's really good as well. And then for your one level 8, just the Siegfried for any spell and trap negation. So that's gonna be it for the extra, guys. Go ahead and go into the side deck. So for the side deck, this deck profile is going a little bit longer than I expected, but I want to make sure I'm thorough. So triple Drone Lockbird, triple Nibiru, triple Lancia, triple Token Collector, and then triple Tactics Talents. This is a card I'm going back and forth on. Honestly, I do believe that Crossout Designator might be the way to go. It is unfortunate because I really do love this card. I mean, this card is absolutely just, it's the nuts. It's essentially, you pretty much get to draw 2, look at your opponent's hand, take, whatever, and it's got me out of so many jams. But if I get Nibiru at the wrong time, it's really gonna suck. Essentially, if you know the DDD plays, it's really easy to know when and where to Nibiru, unless your opponent has just an additional extender and just opens up the nuts, things like that. So I'm really considering either taking this card out or taking out one of these hand traps for the Crossout Designator, but we'll see where that goes from there. That's pretty much going to be it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Honestly, let me know what you guys think about DDD, how you guys are liking the deck. If any of you guys play it or play a different version, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. You can go ahead and check that out as well. But yeah, honestly, guys, do you guys think that DDD is a tier 1 or tier 2 deck, or is it a rogue deck? Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy, subscribe for more videos, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.